All right. Well, hey everybody, welcome back. This is Get Recruited Alumni Chats, Volume 3. I'm joined by Bobi Klintman, former Trelleborg Pirates, former Rig Mark, former Sunrise Christian, Wake Forest, and now current Cairns Taipans, NBL standout, Bobi Klintman. That Bobi Klintman. Bobi, how you doing, man?
Nah, I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you for
Yeah.
having me on here, man.
Yeah, man. Really good to catch up. It's been a while, and we've
Facts.
we've been knowing each other for a while, so it's good to
Yeah,
catch up, man.
most
How
definitely.
yeah, so how are things, man? You're in for everybody that doesn't know, Bobby's in Australia playing in the top league, and is on a lot of people's draft boards for next year's NBA draft. But right now, in the NBL, how are things going in Australia? How do you like it?
I would say things are going pretty good right now. You know what I'm saying? I suffered a little injury with my hip, but it wasn't nothing major. So I'll be back next game. Been out for like 2 games. But man, it's been good so far. You know what I'm saying? Like at the first, when I first came out here, I had to adapt a lot because I wasn't really used to going against like 30-year-old, like 25-year-old pros, like real grown men out there. You know what I'm saying? Playing with experience, playing with speed, with physicality and all that stuff. So it was a learning process, but I'm kind of figuring stuff out now. And as you can see, like if you watch the games I've played, it kind of shows a little bit. But I'm still figuring stuff out, and I'm gonna just try to keep going and keep the momentum I've had so far.
Cool, man. Well, I have to say I'm a bit outside of basketball, just off of geography. I'm a bit jealous of you, man. It's starting to get cold out here, and every time I see you,
Yeah,
it's if it's off the court, it seems like the sun is shining and there's a beach there.
telling you,
So
man. We got the
yeah,
palm trees, everything.
yeah, man. I'm trying
It's
to be
hot out
like
here.
you, not wearing three layers and getting slapped in the face by rain and snow. But
I'm already
that's
knowing. Sweet
yeah.
and be like that.
Yeah, man. Well,
Yeah.
what would you say? I guess if I mean you've been good for a while, but it's been also a really sharp rise just in the last few years.
Sure.
If you're looking at that and before that, I guess so. Even when you were
Yeah.
still in Sweden, what would you say if somebody said, "Well, man, this is an NBA prospect now. He's got a really all-around game now." What would you say has been the biggest contributor to your development, or to if somebody said, "Well, how did you end up this type of player with this type of skill set?" What would you say is the number one contributor?
So I would say everything really started when I was playing for Trelleborg in Sweden. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I started going to get up against guys that's like 2 years older than me. Like I played with my brother. I played with y'all a little bit, like with the men's
Yeah.
team a little bit too. I got to get that competition like every day in practice. Like I got to go against older guys. Like I got to be around experienced guys like you. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
helped me a lot. So I picked up a lot of stuff faster than I would say people in my age at that time. And at the same time, like we was grinding, like we was always in the gym. Like if
Yeah.
you come into the gym, you see me, Mikai, you being there with our dad Uwe, who was
Yeah.
helping us a lot. You know what I'm saying? And we was just in there working on shots, working on the handle. Like I wasn't really I wasn't really playing no position at that time either. Like I could come in, play a little bit of point guard, play a
Yeah.
little bit of shooting guard. At the same time, when I play with my age, I maybe go down to the 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like I would say like in those early days, like I had to do a lot of like reps. Like everything started off from the beginning, and then like through my journey, I've just been locked in. Like people don't see that. Like at the work I put in, like behind closed doors. Like
Yeah.
there's so much work you got to put in to like get better. But like if you just stay committed to it, like you feel like your development, and like during this time, like that's when you build your confidence. Like you start putting stuff into the games and stuff like that, and like if you just fall in love with the grind, like you're gonna start liking it. You're gonna start
Yeah.
seeing results too, which motivated me a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I
So
love that.
I would
That
say that's
man.
the big thing.
Cool, man. I'm not going to say I hope that you would say that, but it ties in
Yeah,
directly with. So I kind of hope that you were going to touch on that, so that because my next
yeah,
question was going to be specifically about those years. And so
yeah,
for anybody that's listening, kind of casually and doesn't know Bobby's history, um, played in southern Sweden, came up in a club, Trelleborg, and that I actually played the last season and a half of my career there. So I've seen Bobby developed from a young age up until now. And I can remember you guys being in the gym with Ove, you guys being in the gym with Ali, just working and coming down there. I mean, putting in 2 days, and not organized mandatory team stuff. It was just like that was part of the thing. It's like, hey, we're in the gym today.
Exactly. Nah, because there's a lot of kids out there nowadays. Like, you know, I see people be texting me. They'd be like I want to get to that level. Like, I want to be in the NBA too. Like, I want to be in the NBA too. But like, they don't understand how much work it really takes. Like, you really got to live in the gym like every day. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it takes a lot of hours.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be, and that's what people miss out on, I think, is that it can't be one of your things. It has to be the thing.
The thing, exactly. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, and it's if it's not, no matter how talented you are, you're not going to last. So I mean that's the biggest difference I've seen from the States. Like, when I went to high school, and like when I'm comparing it to Sweden, like, people real life, like when you go to the States, they real life live basketball. Like, all they talking about is basketball. Like, when you walk around, like, they know you're a basketball player, so like they're gonna ask questions about like basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything it's school basketball all the time. Yeah, and I mean that's I think what I'm not struggling with, but what I'm trying to get across to so many of the kids that are over here. I mean, not just in Sweden, but many in Sweden, is that you have to live it. I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that like it. There's a lot of people that love it. But if you're really if you're trying to get to that level, it's got to be, you got to live it. And
most definitely.
So, well, yeah, man. My the next thing I kind of had on my mind was your experience at Wake Forest. So I mean, there was a bit of uncertainty and a couple of coaching changes and stuff, and then you ended up landing at Wake, and really, had a decent freshman season, but then really towards the end and conference tournament, you kind of blew up, and people. I was happy that people kind of started to notice, like, hey, man, it's not just a young talent, but a talent in general. And
most definitely,
you had some good games there. What was your favorite, or what was the most valuable part of the year that you had at Wake Forest? What do you think?
So I would say, like, everything started in the beginning, really, because like I came in, like I just played pretty good with the national team. Like, I came in late, like the team had already been there for like 2 weeks, so like, the coaches already kind of knew like who was going to be the guys on the squad. Like, we had the older guys coming in, like we had Tyree Appleby handling the ball, like, you know what I'm saying, being a really good point guard. But he ain't really, I don't think I was really like in that group of guys that they thought was going to be like pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I came in, and I feel like I put in the mark like early, like when I first came to Wake Forest, because I did pretty good in the beginning, but at the same time, I feel like Coach Forbes, he understood me so well, like as a player, so like he knew it would take time. You know what I'm saying? So like, since like from day one to my last day at Wake Forest, like he was always on me, always trying to get me better and stuff like that. And he was patient with me, because in the beginning, shots wasn't falling really. Like, I started off a little slow. Like, they was bigger than me. Like, they had a couple of pounds on me. So like, I got punked pretty easy in the beginning, but after a while, like, I had a lot of chats with him. Like, we sat down in the office and stuff like that, talked about like what I got to do. Like, I asked him how do I get more minutes on the floor and stuff like that. He said, just start by playing hard defense and doing all the small stuff. So that's like, I changed my mentality a little bit. I was like, okay, I can't be the number one scorer right now, because we already got this guy. Yeah. I can't do this and that. So like the small stuff is really like what's gonna help me. So I started going hard on boards, started rebounding, playing hard defense, knocking down open shots when I'm open. And you know what I'm saying? Just doing everything possible without having the ball, really. You know what I'm saying? So I would say
yeah. That's a good.
I would say I developed like, because I've always like been a little bit with the ball, like, scoring the ball, like all these fancy passes and stuff like that. But I really learned how to like play my role. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I started doing that, and the what's it called? My teammates seen, like, because I was always getting extra shots up after practice and stuff like that, because I wanted, you know what I'm saying, be a consistent player. So my teammates seen like the work I put in, like they seen I did all the small stuff. Like, every team needs a guy like that. So they started respecting me more and more. And the coaches seen that too. So I got more playing time. And then I started doing good things like on like during the games. Coach Forbes, he let me play through mistakes, would help me a lot too. So I didn't do them no more. And then when the time came, I feel like I stepped up, and my team has seen that too. And whenever I was open, they always found me. You know what I'm saying? So
man, that's a really good. I would regret it if I didn't pick that out and highlight that for people. Is that, I mean, we're talking about like from where you're at right now. So just a year ago, even this is a guy that is on people's NBA draft boards, and he's talking about I needed to fit a role and I needed to play my role and do my job. And I think so many young players they look at the game and it's only about scoring, and it's like, well, that's a bit of what it's about.
Exactly.
When you get to a certain level, everybody can score.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be like, unless you're somebody's 7'6" project. Everybody at the college level can score the ball.
And also when I'm kind of like not mastering my role, but when I kind of like got that respect for coach and my teammates, now that's when I can start scoring the ball more. That's when I start getting more freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Now your role.
So that's really what helps
expands.
Exactly, and you get more confidence, and everything is just flowing for you.
Well,
so now you really just got to go out there and hoop.
And that's where maturity comes in, and it's like that's why there's some guys that are grown that they never get it, because it's like in their mind, if they can't be a number one or a number two option, then they can't function. And so I mean there's just I think if you're any sort of player that plays at any decent level, you've experienced all three at some point. So whether you're the young guy that's got to come off the bench, or whether you're a role player, or you're the main option, it's about mastering your role, and like you said, just
also it's a lot mentally too. You got to be strong mentally. During this times, often basketball players, they feel it's if they play good, if everything's going good with basketball, their mental is stable. You know what I'm saying? Their mental is good. Soon as things going down, that's when you really got to am I really this tough guy, or am I a bitch? You know what I'm saying? That's really what. That's really what it is.
Are you really strong mentally, and are you really a hooper, or do you just pretend to be?
Exactly. But that's when you're gonna start asking some questions and figure yourself out, because that's when I feel like I found myself a little bit more mentally to have this mentality to come in and just kill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's the difference between, guys that get to that next level, because I mean, you've already, you've been playing at a level this year and last year, and will be next year at a level where, like you said, everybody's good, but who gets to that next level, because it's like there's even a lot of guys that work a ton and that put in the work because they know what the end game is, but they don't have that mental side. Now, man, so if we're talking about off the court, so outside of basketball, even though the focus has to be super high, so if you get some free time, what would you say has been your favorite part of the college experience that you had last year off the court, and then after that, favorite part of the experience off the court in Australia?
So I would say the favorite part in college is you get so close to your teammates. You know what I'm saying? They're like brothers for you, for real. So you live around the guys. You hang around with the guys when you go on road trips with the guys. We play the games with the guys. So you know what I'm saying? I feel like I found brothers for life. You know what I'm saying? I was around them all day and stuff like that. So it was a really fun time. At the same time, where you locked in and folks in the basketball season. At the same time, you got your brothers inside. Yeah. So y'all be going through the same stuff too, because everybody got the same goal. So it's fun, man. College is fun.
I can remember. I think, and I mean, maybe you can speak to this as well, but with those relationships are so cool, because it's like, man, after on the pro side of things, after college, I played, I guess 8 years in 5 different countries. And it's like, I do have friends from those experiences.
But it's a job.
But it's a job. And and it's like you can be cool with people and you'll have
Yeah,
your friends and stuff, but it's like
yeah.
those college years when you're living with
It's just,
guys, it's a different type of
just
bond for sure.
yeah,
It's a brotherhood,
yeah.
like you
Exactly.
said.
Like, I played college last year, so I can't really say this, but like I'm still talking to my guys. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I'm sure you still talk to your old teammates from
yeah,
college too.
man, and I'm old, man. I finished a long time ago, and it's like
Yeah,
I was in Kansas not too long ago,
yeah,
hanging out with those guys and talking about
yeah,
times that most people have already forgot about. So
yeah.
uh
Nah,
and
but then
what
I was like Australia, like really what I started like seeing more, like when I was in LA doing like the pre-dest and stuff like that, like I seen really how like the pros work out and
Yeah,
like how they carry themselves, and like it's not just like going to work out and then you're done for the day. Like you really got to take care of your body too. And that
yeah,
was one of the biggest things I've seen. Like, I'm now that I'm playing pro, I try to like, because I get so much free time. We practice from like 8 in the morning to like 11 a.m. And then from 11 a.m. we got weights to like 12:45. And then
yeah,
like I got the rest of the day to do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like I try. I'll be with my mom a lot, but I try to do some recovery, like get my body right. So when I get on the court, I'm out to perform. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's the biggest thing I've seen. Cause like when I seen Russell Westbrook and all these guys like Harrison Barnes, when I was with them in the gym, like, they go wake up at like 6 in the morning, go do their weights, come into the gym. I see them get a little massage, like, they get their joints right, and then they get on the court. And then after
yeah.
that, they do something else. You know what I'm saying?
It's a job, man.
Yeah,
That's the side that people don't see, I guess.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
what would you say? I guess you mentioned your mom and then Ova earlier, and it brings up
yep,
to me the you're coming from a family that
yeah,
uh maybe not previously like 20 years ago, but
yeah,
for damn sure in the last 5, 6, 7 years, people in Sweden definitely know the Klintman family now.
yeah.
Uh,
No,
so
definitely.
right now, and I mean for those listeners and viewers that are not around Swedish basketball and have not uh, experienced what I'm talking about on the American side, the Klintman family currently, they've got Bobby's big brother Ibe is standout for Central Arkansas. Also did a prep year in the U.S. You've got also Mikai, cousin, who is
Yep,
for playing for
yep.
AOS right now, and still has college eligibility, and will be sorted out next year. Got who else am I missing here? We've also got Kanaya,
I
also
lost you for a
cousin.
little bit. We got Ibe, we got Mikai, Malaya. She
Yeah,
played for Malabas. My sister Tira,
yeah,
she played for AOS. And then we got Kanaya, who
yeah.
just committed to High Point University.
That's right.
College.
So we've
Yeah,
got a basketball family, and
yeah.
I think that by the time you
And then
guys are
also
done,
we can't forget like my half cousins, like this really like, so they so close to the family, so like we real life cousins, like Jaden Caldwell and what's it called, Elliot Caldwell too, because
yeah,
I grew up with them too, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, and they
okay,
was
well,
there
yeah,
for a
that's
little while too, so
that's
yeah.
so that's I think by the time you guys are done,
Hmm.
and I mean there might be some people in Sweden that have their own opinion, but I would
Yeah,
say that's going to be a hard family pedigree to beat when you guys are done, because that's
yeah,
going to be a pretty deep basketball timeline with you
yeah.
guys.
Now, but
Uh,
I remember, like it's funny you say that a lot of people know who we are now, because I remember when I was playing in Trelleborg, and like, we're from the South. So like basketball at that time when I was younger, like basketball wasn't big at all, like in the South. Like
nah,
you had
man.
all these, like they used to like they used to kill us, like everybody. Like he talking about, they used to beat Malbus, they used to beat us, they used to beat like, all these teams from Skona. But now, like in underhand, like after I feel like we put in a little like footprint for all the other guys, because now like Skona is like one of the best. Like they got, you seen Trelleborg's like youth team, what Ali's doing with them, like they're killing right now. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't see that before. It was all like, it was Solna Vikings, it was like Södertälje Kings, like that was the teams, that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, and that's just it's the I mean, it helps to have some players like you guys coming into the gym, but it speaks to it. Like you gotta respect game at some point. It's like there's development going on, and there's some real talent coming out of the South now. So it's and I mean it's good for Swedish basketball because it gets a bit lopsided just because of where the population centers are at and everything. But it's a really cool thing. Yeah, man. Speaking of Swedish basketball, I wanted to ask just what's your experience been like with the national team so far, and do you see yourself anytime, whether it's in the near future or eventually putting on a Swedish jersey and playing more for Sweden?
So, and like my experience been like mostly positive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's been a little, you know what I'm saying, been a little up and down. It's like when I was like for the U15, U16 national teams, like leading into U18, like I wasn't one of the guys, you know what I'm saying? Like I knew what I could do, but like they ain't seen me like that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like
they see you now.
Obviously I would say I kind of got the chance a little bit, but like at the same time I didn't get the chance. Like I ain't even get picked. That's also like been one of my like biggest like fuels for me to like get better in basketball, just because I ain't get picked in the national teams when I like, obviously there was good players on the team, but like I felt like I was better than a lot of players. You know what I'm saying? And that was driving me crazy. I was like, I was staying up like thinking about that stuff because real. I remember the coaches, and when they was telling me like I didn't get picked for the team, they was talking about my conditioning and stuff like that. Like I wasn't conditioned enough. When I'm looking at the team, I'm like, it should have been me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that was driving me a lot.
And that's valuable though, man. I mean, there's very few good players in this world that don't have some sort of, it may or may not be national team, but they have something where it was like somebody doubted you at some point. It was like, all right, we'll see. Well,
what's it called? Now you talk first.
I was gonna say, well, if they didn't see you then, they see you now.
Not most definitely. But like the U18 team, like I got picked as a reserve, so I wasn't even supposed to go out there. And then somebody got sick, and then I got my opportunity, and I came in, and I felt like I showed them what I could do because I played up, and I was still like putting up much numbers, and in a positive way too. Like that's kind of like when scouts and stuff started seeing like, who is this guy? Like, what can he do? And they started following me into Riegmark when I was Michael Bree. And they follow me in there, and like also like Sebastian Forsling helped me a lot too because he had a lot of eyes on him at the moment too. So but after that, I got picked up again with the U18 team, and when it was my age turn, with the 04 guys, and that's kind of when I broke through a little bit with the national team. I feel like I had like a pretty good leader role since I've been there like the year before that. And I came off a pretty strong sunrise, so I felt good about myself and coming in, and like it was guys I played with before that's really good basketball player. I feel like we had a really good team. You know what I'm saying?
And things are
fell short, but we had a good squad. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had played with each other before.
Well, that's another thing too, is I think in a few years and it's like it's no stab at the current senior team or anything like that, but I think I think when you and a few some other guys that have also kind of that have come out in the last few years, the future, the potential national team that could be on the floor in the future is nice.
Most definitely.
And not just regionally in Europe, but for all of Europe. That's going to be a group that can compete, I think.
That's my vision too. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, my main focus is, first of all, winning here in Australia, and then the drafting. Like the NBA is going to be my main focus. But like it's hard with like having time and stuff like that because like they usually put like the big tournaments and stuff like that when the NBA is still going. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we could at least say that it's not out of the question. As long as it's
definitely not.
Yeah, that's
if I
good.
had time, like, I love representing the country of Sweden. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to put on a show for the fans, and what I'm saying, I wanted to know that I love the country. You know what I'm saying? And I want to help them win.
For sure, man. That's good to hear.
It's hard to say now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's well, man. I have basically really one more thing, but I would say with the NBA looming, right? So it's obviously you're focused on finishing strong in Australia. But it's like, it's the elephant in the room, right? That's the biggest, that's the thing everybody's talking about. Some people have you as high as 19 or 20 on the board, and as you probably know from experience last year, like, I mean, draft night can be crazy sometimes. Like there can be it can be really crazy. So it could be.
I seen one guy, what's it called? His name, Bilal Coulibaly. He was projected 20. He went number 7. You know what I'm saying? So it really, if you got a promise, like it don't really matter what you projected, because these mock drafts, like, they're not true for it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like it's just
it's a very loose. A lot can change. But
somebody got favorites, they gonna put their favorite a little bit higher than the other one. You know what I'm saying? Like these NBA teams, they look for what they need. Like,
so how are you staying focused? So you personally, how are you staying focused on what you've got to do leading up to that? Because it could be, I think for some people it could be a distraction, or it could be where you think too much. How are you staying locked in and focused on what you've got to do before that?
No, as you say, a lot of guys they float away in their fantasies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm far from a finished product. Like I just got to stay locked in on what I've been doing to get to this point. And that's been like putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, even at this point, like, I'm trying to work out as much as possible, get as much shots up as possible. You know what I'm saying? Just to get better every day. If that's by doing getting better handles, getting better, keep working on my shot and stuff like that. Like, I always try to do the little things. And that's what I've been doing to this point. So I'm gonna stay locked in and do that. And hopefully, like, that'll help me transit to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's gonna help me develop. Like, even with all these games, like us winning, it's just gonna benefit me because I'm developing at the same time. We playing good basketball, playing against pros every night. You know what I'm saying? I can't ask for nothing better. Like, I feel like I'm in a really good spot right now. You know what I'm saying? So I really just got to focus on the games and get better.
Well, and I think, like I said before, there's a lot to like about how you play. Like, I think you can fit into a lot of different systems and fit any style.
Yeah, appreciate that.
But my favorite thing, I guess, from being around you from when you were younger and watching you play up until now, is just that I can tell that you visibly enjoy playing basketball. Like, you really have fun with it. So it's been serious for some years now, because Sunrise is a high level, Wake Forest is a high level, NBL is a high level, and it's like, if anybody watches you for the first time, they can be like, man, this guy's having fun.
That you need to have fun out there. I appreciate you saying that, because I try to embrace that a lot. You know, I play with a lot of emotions. Like, when I get a block, I'll say something. I'll talk some smack. You know, I'll say when I'm dunking the ball, like, when I play with energy, I just feel like I'm playing better. And I'm having fun out there. Like, I feel like that helps your teammates. Like, it gives the team energy. Like, it just helps a lot. Like, when everybody's just out there having fun, like, everything is just easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's like,
I love the game, and I'm always going to embrace that.
Oh, that's good stuff, man. Well, yeah, I still I can still remember having you guys out at the first Get Recruited showcase here in Sweden. And
that was lit.
Man, it was super talented, but it's so cool to look back and say, well, not only were there this many college players in the gym, but hopefully this time next year it's like, well, there was actually an NBA player in the gym. So
but I remember, I appreciate that, man. But I remember when I was actually, like, when I was about to go to this camp, like, you see, like, y'all had the rankings, all that stuff, like, that really brought some, like, I'm saying, some competitiveness in me. Because I seen this guy, he got picked before me in the national team. Oh, he's coming to the camp. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen my chance to, like, really, like, get at this guy. So it was fun, and, like, we ain't never really seen that in Sweden. Like, an event like that, it was game changing, man. So it was a great experience.
I appreciate that.
Because you ain't never seen that in Sweden before. You know what I'm saying? That's game changing.
Well, and that's what that was the idea, I think, is to try to make it where it's not just in a national team setting. It's a little bit more of an open setting where the best players can go at each other, and we can see who's about it.
Not facts.
But no, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time, man.
For sure.
I'm watching more NBL than I've ever watched before, and I wish
That's
you the
love.
I wish you the best of luck, man. And
Appreciate you, man.
I look forward to the next time we talk.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, that's love, man. Appreciate you for having me on.